Hello and welcome to Bread of Life, a daily devotional program which each week features a different area pastor. Our speaker for this week is Elder Bill Ewen of New Haven.
Welcome to Bread of Life. I am truly excited about the privilege of speaking this week on Ecclesiastes chapter 4, which was titled in my Scofield Bible as Life's Oppressions and Inequalities. In this chapter, the author brings out a number of practical truths about life's many issues that each of us ought to apply to our individual lives. But this chapter also brings out many potential dangers that could work to derail us in our Christian walk. The author of this book is quite clearly King Solomon. Please note chapter 1 and verse 1. The words of the preacher, the son of David, king in Jerusalem. According to the Old Testament, King David had a number of children, but only one of them ever ascended to the throne, and that was Solomon. You can read of Solomon's many accomplishments, as well as his eventual downfall, in 1 Kings chapters 1 through 11. Solomon's troubling assertion in chapter 1, verse 2, "Vanity of vanities, all is vanities." With that brief background in mind, let us read verses 1 and 2 of chapter 4. "So I returned and considered all the oppressions that are done under the sun, and behold, the tears of such as were oppressed, and they had no comforter. And on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Wherefore I praised the dead, who are already dead, more than the living, who are yet alive." The question has been raised as to when in Solomon's life the book of Ecclesiastes was written. It is my personal opinion that this book was composed years after Solomon's authorship of his thousands of Proverbs. Why do I say that? Ecclesiastes seemingly reflects the experience gained by an older but wiser man who has had his share both of good times and foolish mistakes. Much of Ecclesiastes is penitential and remorseful in its tone, while the many Proverbs authored by Solomon contain little or none of that sort of tone. Solomon clearly in Ecclesiastes expresses significant regret for the tragic wrong choices he had made during his midlife crisis. He has found from personal experience that the pursuit of self-centered pleasures has led to a profound feeling of emptiness, and in fact compares this feeling of vanity to be worse than death itself. How can this be? In summary, I take this book to be a poignant autobiographical sermon by an older but wiser man who is sincerely seeking to warn the next generation about the folly of focusing one's life energies on self-centered pleasures. So King Solomon begins chapter 4 by highlighting life's inequalities, with the powerful using their power to oppress the weak, and he records that the weak had no comforter. In perspective, some 3,000 years after Ecclesiastes was written, life today regarding oppression does not seem all that different from life in Solomon's time. Now, verse 2 records Solomon's answer to this distressing situation. "Wherefore I praise the dead more than the living." What is wrong with this picture? Solomon, according to chapter 1 and verse 12, was king over Jerusalem in Israel. Clearly, Solomon was grieved over life's oppressions, as expressed in verse 1, and it is good that he was grieved about the injustice of the oppression by the powerful. The problem, in my opinion, is that a person in kingly authority did not take any corrective action to do what he could personally to help oppressed individuals in their time of need. More on that next time.
You've been listening to Elder Bill Ewen of New Haven, and this has been Bread of Life, a program to encourage you from God's Word.